Hi, I'm Mike Sullivan, State Conservationist for the Natural Resources Conservation Service here in Arkansas. We help people help the land. We provide technical and in some cases financial assistance to help agricultural producers and rural communities address natural resource concerns. Today we're going to be talking about healthy soil systems, in particular cover crops, and how they can help you be more profitable while being sustainable.
Nobody eats one thing in life and has a healthy body. So our soil is a living thing, and we're trying to produce and feed the soil. Cover crops is a tool of the soil health system. You got rape, turnip, and radish, and they're all in the brassica family. A cover crop is either a single species or multi-species crop that we plant in the fall following harvest to help promote soil health. I'm trying to look at nature and mimic nature. You never see a single species in a prairie. You see a vast array of everything.
Too oftentimes we want to plant our cash crop, harvest our cash crop, and go home. And I don't think through a soil health system that we can do that. We have to plant the cover crop, keep it there until the cash crop is planted, and then go right back to a cover crop as quick as we can afterwards. And what you're doing by planting earlier with less time, you're allowing less time for weed seed to germinate. We're trying to get that shade back over the ground to decrease the sunlight to those weed seeds where they can't germinate. That's the only way I can describe the way to plant a cover crop is the earlier the better.
You want the soil covered all the time. It's no different than us. You know, in the summer, if you're in 100-degree weather and you're naked, you're going to sunburn really bad. You know, in the winter, if you don't have a coat on, you're going to freeze. I think we've gotten away from treating the soil as a living thing, and it is. And if we'll feed it and nourish it and clothe it and protect it, it can overcome a lot of things that we try to do. You know, Mother Nature can fix herself a lot of times if we'll just get out of her way and let her.
The soil has a multitude of nutrients already located in the soil. We get carryover nutrients from our cash crop that was before that maybe didn't use all the nutrients that we applied for it. We want to plant this cover crop, and we don't recommend applying nutrients with the cover crop at seeding. We want that cover crop to go in, and we want it to take all the nutrients that was left over from the previous cash crop and tie those up into the plant. The use of brassicas and grasses do that, and then we use legumes in the mix, whether it's vetch, clovers, sweet blue lupins, just any legume will produce nitrogen. We want to let that legume go as far as it can before it blooms, or at bloom, before it starts into reproductive, because once it goes to reproductive, it puts all of its nutrients back into producing seed. What we want to do is we want to terminate that cover crop just before bloom so that all that nitrogen that's in that plant will be released back into our soil to be used by the cash crop that we're planting.
And that's what really got me into this. Was I got tired of going to meetings and going, well, there's 200 pounds of P&K in the soil, but it's not available. And for some reason, farmers have just accepted that. Nobody's went, why is it not available? We just accept that that's the way it is, so we just go to the local fertilizer dealer and just buy more fertilizer to make up. Well, I want to know why it's not available. Well, it's because we don't have a cycle in the soil going and breaking it down and making it release and become more available. When you get into the cycle, you've got a living organism that is cycling the nutrients in the ground and putting it in more of a available form that we can the cash crop can uptake.
And the decision that I had to make when I decided what cover crop to plant was, number one, what are the different types of crops that I'm going to be raising? Because I want to make sure that the cover crop is going to benefit the crop that follows it. As an example, when we're raising soybeans, well, we want to try and put soybeans in with a good grass and some type of turnip or radish. When we're growing corn on the farm, one of the things that we want to do is get as much free benefit in forms of free nitrogen fertilizer as we can. So when we start to grow corn, we're going to always have some type of legume, something that produces nitrogen. And so oftentimes we'll raise Austrian winter peas mixed in with black oats, and we'll still put in some type of brassica, either the turnips or we'll plant radishes, or even now we've started planting 7-top turnips, which we think are going to give us the additional benefit of being able to grow when the temperatures are colder. One of the things we have to always be careful of when we plant the cover crops, we've tried planting radishes, and if we plant them too late, we don't get the kind of benefit that we want. So what we started doing on the farm was switching over to the turnips, or the 7-top turnips, because they tend to be a little winter hardy, or more hardy than the radishes.
I honestly believe you can take the practices that I've learned and I'm still learning from these other guys in the Soil Health Alliance, and through NRCS helping and U of A and all the different research we can put together, I think you can take the back 40 that's never produced, put in a soil health system, and it will produce as good as anything you have.
After we had begun to raise those cover crops on fields for 3 or 4 consecutive years, we started to notice an increase in the yield. So right there's economic benefit, because we're making more money on that same tract of land that we planted that same crop on in the past, and we attribute that to putting cover crops in. So I would encourage a farmer to, number one, go visit the Natural Resource Conservation Service and request assistance from the local district conservationists with establishing a conservation system on your farm. Sign up for the Environmental Quality Incentives Program to receive financial assistance upon approval to adopt that system on your farm.
NRCS, the Natural Resource Conservation Service, we're a federally funded agency, and we're here to assist farmers. That's our only goal, is to help people help the land. That's our goal.
I can honestly say cover crops is the one implementation that a farmer can make that will probably make the biggest impact in so many areas. It'll affect runoff, it'll affect water quality, it'll affect air quality. It's keeping the soil where it belongs on the ground.
Thank you for your time today. If you'd like any more information, please contact your local district conservationist, and they can give you more information on healthy soils, cover crops, or conservation in general. Thank you.